Alright, what we're going to discuss in today's how-to is how to sharpen a pocket knife. It's very important that you keep your pocket knife sharp because a dull knife is a dangerous knife. It can lead to all kinds of problems. For this purpose, we're going to use an Arizona whetstone, 3 of them. 1 coarse, 1 medium, and 1 fine. Now what you're going to do, you're going to start with the coarse one. And the purpose of this stone here is to reset the edge at the proper angle, which in this case is 22 degrees, which is a good angle for a pocket knife. Doesn't wear out too fast, stays sharp for a reasonable amount of time, but it won't be surgical. Well, we're not performing any operations. So the first thing you do, put some oil on there. Let it soak in for a minute, just a little bit, that's all you need. And establish what you have to do to this blade. Besides reestablish the edge, you want to work out any nicks there are, such as there. And create the stage for a super sharp edge using the progressively finer stones. So first you start off by getting your hands set to the angle you want, which is, like I said, 22 degrees, and just keep it at that angle. Do this like you're cutting into a piece of cheese, and keep the blade at that angle. Never pull back, this will chip the blade. Always go forward, and just keep all parts of this blade at 22 degrees. This is a good thing to do while you're watching TV or something, because it does take some time. You hear that change in tone there? That means I kind of left the angle I needed a little bit, but I've reset myself. After a while doing it on one side, it's time to flip over. But before you flip over, take a quick look at it and you can see where it's clean and see where you're grinding away. And this will let you know if you're too shallow or too steep, because you'll see this clean spot will either pull away from the edge or be too far into it. Right now we're doing pretty good. So we're going to go to the other side. Get the same angle. This takes a bit of practice, but it won't be long before anybody's a pro at this. And we'll be able to have a nice, handy, sharp tool in their pocket. You do this for some time. Same thing, just going to take a glance at the edge, see how I'm doing. Make sure it's nice and flat. Maybe necessary to throw a little bit more oil on there from time to time, depending how much you need to do. This knife, really bad shape, so needs a bit of work. So after a while, you take a look at your edge. As I said before, you see how we're starting to get a really nice edge. The nicks are working out. This is going to be pretty good. Once you're happy at this level of grinding away at the steel, it's not going to be able to do any more for this blade. It's time to move to the next one, which is medium. This is the same process. The only difference here is the purpose is not to set the edge anymore, it is to smoothen the edge, which is what creates a sharp knife. The smoother this surface is, the sharper this blade is going to be. So, same angle, rinse and repeat. And now just spreading the oil a little bit, and you just keep getting after it. You get a noticeable difference. This stone is removing far less material. We are refining this edge now, not creating it. After a while, take a peek at it. You can clearly see the edge is becoming much smoother. This knife is getting way sharper as we do this. As before, once I'm convinced this stone can no longer do any more for the edge of this blade, it's time to move off to a finer stone. So, in this set of 3, we'll move to the finest. A little more oil. Start off. You can see throughout these 3 stones, I have been rounding around a bit to catch the curved portion of the blade, still maintaining the same angle. Now when you get to this point, you're really just polishing the blade now. You will have some burrs on the edge here. Now what that is where this edge kind of rounds over a little bit. So what you do is when you're done, on your last side, which since I started that way would be this side, and this is your last go at it, just gently flip it over and run small little circles to kind of work that little microscopic piece of metal off. You don't need to do this for very long. And once complete, you can see the color of that oil there, remove quite a bit from the knife. You check the edge, see how it feels. After doing this for a bit, you'll be able to tell what it's supposed to feel like. It's supposed to have a strong grabbing feel to the tip of your finger. Another way to check it is scrape it on your arm. If it removes hair like such, you're getting pretty reasonable. And that is how you sharpen your pocket knife. A dull knife is a dangerous knife.